Welcome to another history episode on Real Tales 45. In this video, we will make the Ga people the focal point. The Ga people have a fascinating history, and I believe you will find this video both interesting and educative. Let's dive in. The Ga-Adangbe people are an ethnic group native to the Greater Accra region in Ghana. Their migration history, kingdom establishments, and decline are intricately linked with the region's complex past. Here's a comprehensive overview. The Ga migration is quite an interesting one. Unlike our other videos, we can't give you a definite answer as to their exact place of origin. However, this video will be comprehensive enough for you to be able to come to your own logical conclusion. Now, let's dive in. According to some sources, the Ga started their journey from Israel, particularly in the land of Kush, which was mentioned in the Bible. This is emphasized by the name of their great spiritual leader and king, King Ayi Kushi, which means Ni Ayi from Kush. They believe they traveled from Israel to Egypt, from Egypt to Ethiopia, from Ethiopia to Sudan, and their journey continued. Other sources also claim that the Ga-Adangbe people originated from the Sahel region, specifically from the area around Lake Chad. They traveled from there and settled in Nigeria in the Oyo Kingdom, at a place called Sama. They stayed at this place with the Owas for a while before they continued with their journey towards Ghana. However, the historical evidence supports the claim that the Ga-Adangbe people originated from Nigeria. If they did not, then they certainly spent a lot of time in the Yoruba kingdom, as the Ga language and the Yoruba language have a lot of similarities. A Ga-speaking person who interacts with a Yoruba man or woman will easily identify this. The Ga-Adangbe people migrated southwards through the Niger River Valley, settling temporarily in areas now known as Togo and Benin. The Ga-Adangbe people arrived in the Greater Accra region around the 13th century. On getting to Ghana, the Dangbe lot moved to settle in the mountainous areas. The Ada people settled in the coastal areas, leaving only the Gas to move on. They continued the journey until they reached the present-day Greater Accra region. Immediately they got to Accra, they started building their kingdom, and they were very successful. The name of the kingdom at the time was Ariawaso Kingdom. The kingdom was founded by Ayi Kushi from 1471 to 1493. The Ga kingdom became a powerful trading center. Ni Ayi Kushi's death created a power vacuum, which was filled by Dodi Akabi. She led his people for a while before her son was old enough to occupy the throne. Her son was the famous Okayi Kwe. Even a constituency has been named after him. Okayi Kwe faced a tragic end and had a somewhat difficult life. A quarrel ensued between the Ga people and the Akwamu people. This led to Okayi Kwe catching one of the royals of the Akwamu kingdom and circumcising him. This was a great abomination to the Akwamu people because the males in their kingdom did not engage in any form of circumcision. This incurred the anger of the Akwamu people, and they were out for blood. They fought against the Ga people and they won. It is believed that the Ga people lost that war because the people were not in support of King Okayi Kwe starting a war with the Akwamu people. Due to this, the mighty men in the Ga kingdom did not fight for their kingdom, and this ultimately led to their defeat. After this event, Okayi Kwe called his elders and told them that he would kill himself. He painted half of his body black and the other half white. He claimed that if he fell on the white half of his body, the Ga people and kingdom will see prosperity and peace, but if he fell on the black side, the Ga people will know nothing but trouble. After saying this, he stabbed himself, tumbled over, and fell on the black half of his body. To this day, some people of the Ga community blame their hardship on this event, while others ignore it, saying it is just something Okayi Kwe said and did. It holds no power whatsoever over the lives of the people. The Akwamu people then ruled over the Ga people until they fought a war against the Acham people and lost. This gave the Acham people the authority to rule over the Ga people until they also lost a war against the Ashanti Empire. This caused the Achams to nurse a grudge against the Ashantis, as they had always wanted to move out of the shadow of the Ashanti Empire. They had always been looking for the opportunity to achieve this, but the Ashantis were too strong for them. However, there was a king who was installed as the Ashanti king at the time, known as your Osei Bonsu, and wanting to set an example and prove to his people that their faith in him was not misplaced. He moved to the central region to confront the Fantis about some rumors he believed were being spread about him and the Ashanti Empire. On reaching the Fanti state, he realized that there was no truth to the matter, so there was no way he could attack them. He then remembered that when the Ashantis were embroiled in a war against the Fantis, the Ga people came to their aid. So he moved with his 10,000 or so soldiers to punish the Ga people before returning to their kingdom. The Ga people prepared for the fight even though they knew they didn't have what it took to contend with the Ashantis. The Fantis, who knew about this, decided that it would be a betrayal if they did not stand with the Ga people who stood with them when they themselves faced the same enemy. So, they fortified themselves and rallied behind the Ga people. The Achim people, who were already looking for an opportunity to take revenge on the Ashantis, also decided to join in on the action. The Brits at the time also said that enough was enough. They also rallied behind the Ga people, and suddenly there was a war. The war was fierce. So fierce was it that the golden stool fell into the hands of the enemies of the Ashantis. It took 300 of their best fighters to retrieve it. This was a feat by its own. Just 300 men fighting their way through such an enemy to bring back the golden stool was no easy feat. This is the war which was known as the Katamanso War. It was a great war indeed. After that war, the Ashantis with their king, your Bonsu, and their golden stool retreated to their kingdom and left the Ga people alone for good. Alas, the Ga people became independent. From then on, the Ga people were free to establish their kingdoms and communities and live the life they intended to live when they started their journey. Now let us learn about some Ga communities and settlements in Ghana. Ga Mashi, La, Nungwa, Tima, Osu, and Teshi. As was stated earlier, the Ga-Adangbe separated on their journey to Ghana. There is the Ga Mashi, the Krobo, the Ada, who are all part of the Ga-Adangbe. But the Ga Mashi comprises of 6 clans, namely Pase, Asiyin, Sampe, Otabloham, Abula, and Asini. The Ga people are a deeply spiritual people, and they still hold true to those values to this day. They celebrate the Hormawa festival to remember their ancestors and to thank the gods. They are led by priests called Wulamor. Their priests live the rest of their lives from the time they were chosen to become the priests barefooted. They are very significant individuals in the Ga communities and to the Ga culture. There is a saying in Ghana that every Ga man's name is a signboard. This is because the Ga people maintain their clan names. As a result, the moment a Ga person mentions his or her name, you will be able to tell where he comes from and the clan he belongs to. The Ga people believe in the patrilineal system of inheritance, and with strong leadership, were able to overcome all that was thrown at them. The Ga Manche and Adangbe Kapogi still hold significant cultural and symbolic roles. The Greater Accra region remains a hub for trade, commerce, and industry. If you enjoyed this video, then support our work by liking our video and subscribing to our channel, and hit the bell notifications so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching.